Good evening and welcome into tonight's news. His Majesty the King attends a military exercise that was conducted by the Royal Artillery Corps. Over 5.1 million Jordanian voters head to polling stations across the kingdom tomorrow to elect the 20th lower house of parliament. And the Foreign Minister discusses with Vice President of the European Parliament the strategic partnership between Jordan and the EU. Hello and welcome again. His Majesty King Abdullah, the Supreme Commander of the Jordan Armed Forces Arab Army, attended a military exercise that was conducted by the Royal Artillery Corps. His Majesty listened to a briefing presented by the Commander of the Royal Artillery Corps on the development of the artillery force and the newly introduced weapons and equipment. The head of the Operations and Training Division gave a briefing on the exercise, which stimulates or simulates potential threats and the measures taken to confront them. The King also watched live ammunition drill, representing the role of the Artillery Corps in providing support while carrying out a mission for maneuvering formations and units. His Majesty also toured an exhibition of weapons, equipment and ammunition used in the Royal Artillery Corps. King Abdullah commended the distinguished level and professionalism of Army personnel. Over 5.1 million Jordanian voters will go to polling stations across the kingdom tomorrow to elect the 20th lower house of parliament. Meanwhile, Chairman of the Independent Elections Commission, Musa announced that the Commission will, for the first time, publish preliminary parliamentary election results online. Speaking at the launch of the 2024 Elections Media Centre at Al Hussein Sports City, Maita said the initiative will allow all Jordanians to monitor the electoral process directly. He added, the Media Centre's opening reflects the Commission's commitment to transparency and engagement with local and international observers, journalists and guests from inside and outside Jordan, stressing that the press plays a crucial role in overseeing the electoral process. Maita confirmed that polling will take place from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. without extension, in accordance with the 2022 election law. Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi met with the Chief Observer of the European Union Election Observation Mission, Zilzana Zovko, who is also Vice President of the European Parliament. The meeting, which was attended by members of the European Union Election Observation Mission, focused on ways of boosting the strategic relations between Jordan and the EU. Safadi and members of the delegation stressed the importance of the partnership between the Kingdom and the European Union, as well as the need to continue bilateral cooperation. The Foreign Minister valued the EU's support to Jordan's economic and development programs that will help it to address the impact of regional crises, especially the burden of hosting Syrian refugees. The meeting also dealt with the situation in Gaza, the dangerous Israeli escalation in the West Bank and the region, and the need to move effectively to achieve just peace on the basis of the two-state solution. Over to the Gaza Strip, Israeli occupation forces committed 2 massacres against Palestinians, killing at least 16 people and wounding over 64 others over the past 24 hours. An airstrike on a house in Anseirat refugee camp in central Gaza killed 3 people and injured 7 others. In a separate attack on a house in Al Brage refugee camp, also in central Gaza, at least 4 people were killed and many others wounded. Close to 41,000 Palestinians have been killed and more than 94,820 others have been wounded since the start of Israel's unrelenting onslaught on Gaza in October last year. Syrian state media reported that multiple Israeli strikes on Hama countryside late yesterday killed at least 16 civilians, adding that the attacks targeted a major military research center. It added that 43 people were also injured following the strikes in the vicinity of the city of Masyaf. Jordan expressed its deepest condolences to the government and people of Morocco over the victims of floods that hit a number of provinces south of the country, leaving several casualties and injuries and missing persons. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Soufiane Al-Qada affirmed the kingdom's full solidarity with the government and people of Morocco, expressing his sincere condolences and sympathies to the families of the victims and wishing the injured a speedy recovery. Thank you so much for your time.